Today's first presenter was of great interest to me because I actually have a personal vendetta against these little glasses they make you wear when you go into a film and they tell you it's going to be Star Wars 3D or whatnot. I told one of the TEDx organizers yesterday that whenever I put those glasses on, they don't stay on my ears, they fall off, they're very uncomfortable. She shared with me that this was perhaps a problem that was uniquely mine, and maybe I could get something surgically done to my ears. But nevertheless, I have a lot of interest in hearing what our first presenter has to say today, because Brad Bent's question is this: what if you did not need special eyeglasses to see eye-popping 3D electronic entertainment in our everyday life? So please welcome 3D evangelist, Brad Bent.
Stay tuned to Monster Chiller Horror Theater this Saturday night, when we'll be presenting a 3D classic, Dr. Tong's 3D House of Stewardesses. It's going to be a scary film, but you know you can't watch this film unless you have your special 3D glasses. That's right. You got to send $18 to me, Count Floyd. Be sure to send that money in, get your 3D glasses, and then you can watch this Saturday night's Monster Chiller Horror Theater. Now, let's take a look at some thrilling 3D scenes from that movie.
Not to come to the smell of a single rose. I'll take care of this, Bruno. Perhaps the lady would prefer a foot-long weenie.
Floyd's glasses are a little fogged up. Well, that's some film, isn't it? It's Dr. Tong's 3D House of Stewardesses. Be sure to send away for your glasses, because you can't see them coming right out at you. The monsters and everything. This week on Monster Chiller Horror Theater.
I paid $18. That's the problem. Thanks for setting that up for me. It's like these stupid glasses, right? You got to go put these things on. But it gets worse. Can you see? Look at this one. I love this one. Oh, my goodness. What's this? Oh, you're all naked. Oh. Oh, sorry. That's the problem. It's all these silly glasses. Well, I tell you. So they asked you, I came in from Vegas, and they said, Brad, we need you to answer a question. What if what happened in Vegas did not stay in Vegas? No. This thing, thank you so much for setting that up. It's perfect to say that 3D has sort of typically been a special, you pay a ticket, you come into some place, you put on a pair of glasses, you go, wow, that was really cool, but then you give the glasses back, you go home and you kind of go, how come I can't see that every day, in my everyday life? Well, we're sort of getting there one way or another. We're going to get there, and it really sort of, we have to get it to the masses. How do we get it to the masses? How can we get 3D into our everyday lives? The glasses are a problem. Right now, if you wanted to listen to your iPod, everyone's probably got an iPod, and you listen to your music, but you have to wear the headphones, right? Generally. And they're pretty uncomfortable to wear all the time. So what about 3D? You're going to wear glasses all the time? You're going to wear glasses all the time? It's just be like wearing headphones all the time. You'd be pretty uncomfortable. So, I'm not working here. Here we go. So the problems are sort of across the board. We have a lot of problems with 3D because it's a very special technology. It's a chicken and egg scenario. Content, hardware, they got to go hand in hand. Technology, glasses in this case, the content has to be prepared a little bit differently than we would take normal video, for example. So those two things have to kind of go hand in hand to drive the industry. And that's kind of why we've had these booms or busts in 3D. 3D's been around a long, long time. It's 150 years old, actually. And we'll get to that in a little bit. So right now we have problems with 3D that start with standardizations, you know. I just showed you some examples of polarized glasses, shutter glasses, those kind of things. And one of the biggest problems is, you watch TV right now, bright, very clear, lots of resolution. We're getting there. We got rid of that 50-year-old standard called NTSC. It's gone. We just got rid of it this year, I think, right? So maybe 3D can be our next standard that we move to. But there's a lot of things that have to happen to make that. Problem is with the glasses, the technology as it is, it's polarizing technology, or it's some kind of filter on your eyes and on the device that shows 3D. And one of the biggest problems there is it reduces the brightness. Because you have two eyes and you have to basically get discrete views into each eye, you're also reducing the resolution. In most cases, half resolution for one eye, half resolution for the other. So there's a lot of problems with glasses and that sort of getting the technology. And then, of course, content acquisition. Usually, we have some cameras out here, for instance, but to do it in 3D, we would need multiple lenses. We'd need 2 lenses or more in some cases to get a stereoscopic view. There is problems with training. You know, schools need to be able to train our camera people and our editors and our animators, et cetera, et cetera. So training has to be updated. Expertise has to be there. Another problem. Then content distribution. Right now, internet uses codecs, has to be compressed down to something. Well, the 3D, you need something a little more robust. You have 2 eyes, you have more resolution needed, and our legacy MPEG encoding that they'll try to use now won't really work for 3D distribution. Excuse me a second. So the big thing in my, how am I doing for time? 10 minutes. So the big thing is, like, how can we get it to be part of our everyday life? It's going to be a transition, right? Well, the first thing to do, and it's already happening right now, 30,000 screen surfaces in the United States alone. 3,000, or a little more than 10%, are now 3D ready, 3D capable, okay? They still can play 2D as well, but they're being equipped for 3D ready. And that's going to be helping us to drive the 3D to the masses, or starting, and that's the Hollywood industry is really sort of steering that. But again, we come back to, like, what are the standards? How are we going to view this 3D? Here's kind of an example of that 150-year-old technology I was telling you about. That was what they used to have way, 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 way back. President Lincoln, Queen Victoria. President, stay still, and they have the big camera with the flash powder. Boom. Okay, don't move. And they move the camera over a little bit. Okay, we're going to take another shot. Click. Then they put that on a little card at the end of this prism device. And that was 3D. They used to come over on Saturday night. Woo, let's look at the 3D. Well, that didn't last very long. And then we had our, I call the industry booms and busts. It was very gimmicky, and it was that red-blue glasses. And it happened in the 50s, the 70s, and 80s, where Nightmare on Elm Street 3D. But it was really gimmicky. They'd hold a broomstick like this, trying to sort of take advantage of. Maybe some of you might have seen Jaws in 3D when the shark exploded, and it was like, well, that didn't really last. Didn't really help the industry that much either, because the red-blue glasses are just too uncomfortable to wear. Then to get it into homes, when the computers started to really get into everyone's lives, They started to use a shutter device. This was also used in the original IMAX theaters. And it's very bulky. There's a battery in there. It's very heavy, very uncomfortable to wear. And again, it has the problem of reducing brightness, reducing resolution. So these are the problems. It's a great effect. Everyone loves it. So what's happening now, as I just mentioned, the 3,000 theaters that are being outfitted right now. Well, what happened was the movie industry said it takes $4,000 to make a print. And that has to be shipped at another cost to all these theaters. Multiply that by a huge, huge amount of theaters. That's a big cost that the movie industry has to pay just to get the print to the public. They said there's got to be a better way. Well, some brilliant people down in Beverly Hills said, we can take $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. If you do that, do your metrics on that, you'll find out that's about what the studios pay to get those prints. And that's all it will cost to outfit these theaters with new updated digital equipment that will allow them to show not only 2D and digital, but and to transmit the content to these theaters very, very cheaply, like for a $100 hard drive rather than a $4,000 print. So they financed the upgrades of these 3,000 theaters that we have now, and by the end of 2012, they're saying that they're going to have 10,000 theaters that'll be 3D ready. So that the movie industry said, well, that's great. What is our kick into this? Well, a 3D ticket is $2 or $3 more expensive than a normal one. But the other thing is do you go back to the theater and see a movie a second time? Yes? No? Probably not. Or you might even wait till it comes out on the DVD to see it the second time. In 3D, no. Kids are saying, Mom, can I go see that movie again? I want to take my friends. It becomes a little viral. So that the movie ticket sales are actually increasing because of 3D. Now, that's the problem with the movie industry because right now, they're only experiencing about 20% of their income, up to 20%. That's actually a good film release. That's like a blockbuster release. $300 million is only really 20% of the take. Okay? $70% of the take is coming from what happens in the home. DVD sales, branding, merchandise. Okay? Now there's some other sort of peripherals, like 5% for hospitality airplanes, 5% for pay-per-view, those kind of things. But the big thing is 70%. How do we get that 70% in the home if all these films that are coming out now in 3D? Okay, and remember, it's still the glasses. When you go to that theater, you still got to wear the glasses. But we got to get these films in the home so we can experience that 70% income into the home, okay? So that's where we are right now. The 3D movies are here, but to sustain it, we got to figure out how to get them into the home and get that 70% income from DVD sales. So this is what's happening. And we got CES next month, okay? CES in Vegas in January, Consumer Electronics Show. They're touting this as the 3D CES. Every manufacturer that I know of, and I've been working with, are coming out with some sort of device that'll be 3D ready, okay? And they're going to be releasing these products. But because there's no standardization yet, it's going to be a fledgling market. It's going to be, how do we do this? They'll be playing around with it. We need the content. We need that chicken and egg scenario. And like even one of our big guys here at DreamWorks says, it'll be okay, but it's going to take a long time. Like, for instance, HD was invented 20, 30 years ago. But we're only really realizing it today because the cost of the units are coming down and the content is now there and available to us, right? There's channels that we can get that are in HD. There's more released in HD. So we're going to see these products start to come out. Can I go back? Oh, I didn't want to do the whole thing again. Sorry about that. Anyways, the last bullet point was Sony thinks, they are actually doing research right now, and they actually think that they will release 50% of their entertainment sales or the TV sales, 50% in year 2013 will be 3D ready TVs. That's a huge amount, okay? And some of these other companies, though, are thinking a little bit out of the box now, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to think about what if we didn't need those glasses. So we have some of the manufacturers, JVC, Philips, LG, and some lesser-known companies. I'm one of those companies. where we're developing the idea of no glasses needed. There's a little bit of an example in the hallway. You can go out and see. That's kind of a prototype, and we're kind of seeing where we're going with that. But that's the whole idea, and it's not, Wendy, it's not going to be with glasses. So a little bit of the background, very, very quickly. 8 years ago or so, this is kind of an old idea. This was invented back in the 30s. It's lenticular. You don't need glasses to see that, but you probably can't see it far away, but the Coke bottles are actually popping off here. It's kind of the same idea as this. And there's different technologies available. One is, you know, a barrier filter, but a filter is destructive. It kind of holds back resolution. This is not. This is an optical sort of effect, and it allows us to see 3D off a device, and it creates discrete viewing zones, which enables us to see 3D without using glasses. I'll just quickly go through, and the content is really the tricky part, because now instead of just a single camera, we have to create multiple views, so you get that real true look-around effect. And there's an example of it here. Okay? So let's say that we're watching a football game. The technology basically collimates the image into the circular lens so that you're able to move around and you still see 3D. Like I said, you can see sort of an example of it outside, but the big idea there, what if we didn't need glasses? Well, that's what I think is going to happen. That's the 20-year sort of outlook. That's where we're going to get to. So the big answers here is no more glasses technology. That's what we don't want. We don't want the glasses. That'll be the standardization that we have to move towards. We need ample production facilities with good training, good schools that teach that. We standardize that viewing format, and of course, we can't use legacy distribution methods. We have to get something that's brand new that allows us to create these things such as viral communities. You know, can't you wait for YouTube in 3D? You know, and sharing your 3D videos? Well, we're going to get there, I think. You know, you'll get little cameras that maybe your cell phone can actually film in 3D. Okay? So that really is what it's all about, folks. Let's get rid of those glasses, and then we can experience it in our everyday lives. And I think we're going to probably see it start with advertainment or advertising, where you walk into an airport, shopping mall sort of thing, and you see a screen like we see out in the lobby here showing advertising. Well, that's going to be in your everyday life, and you're going to go, wow, why can't I see that at home? Well, let's just hope that's going to happen. Thank you very, very much.
So, Brad, I'm ultra excited, as you know, about the prospect of not having to put those glasses on. Those monitors that Sony and other companies are going to be putting out, content-wise, is there any conversion available, or does this mean we need all new content in order to see anything?
That's a great question. Did I get turned off here?
I think you're still on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it on?
Let's see. I don't see a light anymore. Should there be a light?
I'm supposed to hold it down.
Okay. I think you're back on now. Try it.
Check, 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 check. It's just your hand mic. Okay. That's a very good question because, yeah, there's tons and tons of content. Everything is out there in 2D already. But it's been acquired using a single lens, and it doesn't offer what your eyes can see, which is a disparity, sort of this view and that view. Okay? So there is a conversion process. It's extremely labor-intensive, and it's obviously going to be costly. Okay, it's not quite the 10 out of 10. It's kind of a 5 out of 10, and can tend to be a little bit gimmicky, almost like the color glasses. So the trick is, can we go out like everyone please go see Avatar this Christmas. It's in full 3D. It's going to be unbelievable because they acquired it using the separate views, disparity.
All right, well, thank you very much for that. We're looking forward to getting rid of chucking those glasses out of there. Once again, can we give a round of applause to Brad?